Okay, for the inside, I think what I'm going to do is cut some fabric pieces to go along the spines. So I've just cut some 2-inch pieces of fabric, and I only want it as tall as the paper because we've already had the fabric fold over, so that's already there. So I've just cut something that's about 2 inches there, and another 2-inch piece here. And then this one is about 2.5 to 3 inches. And again, we're putting paper on the inside, so this will cover the edges, but you just want those spines to have something on there. So let's go ahead and glue these in and see how it looks. Oops. Got all kinds of goodies stuck to here. So let's start with this. A little indent. And a little piece here, and we want it to go down onto the fabric a bit. Okay, let's see how that goes. And we'll start at the top. And again, with the Fabri-Tac, it comes right through the fabric, so I'm going to start with the center and push that down. And it's oozing out all over my fingers. And then we just want to make a little indent where that fold is. And then brush it down. Because you still want your book to be able to close. Same on this side. We're just going to push that little indent in a bit, and again, be careful. The Fabri-Tac comes right through the fabric. It's very thin fabric, so you want your book to be able to close, right? And you don't close it until this is dry because it'll make your fabric pucker. Excuse me. I lose my voice every now and then. Okay. We want this to be secured, and we want those little indents to be there. Right, and then we're going to hold it on this side and just push those little indents in so it doesn't pull my other ones out. Okay, so we'll let that dry. And we'll go ahead and do this side. Glue the spine, do the indents, and do the outside piece. And make sure you get those ends really well, because that's the part that will show, oops, show through. Yeah, just glued myself. Alrighty, so we're going to go ahead and put this fabric on here. And we're going to glue down the center first. Pull this over a bit more. That centerpiece. Do your little indents. These ones, you know, they're not huge indents, but it really makes a difference opening and closing the book. So you really want to make sure those, and if you don't have one of these, which most people don't, you can just use a ruler, the edge of your ruler, to slide down there to just hold it in. Like so. And then you hold the side so it does not pull the fabric. And it makes your little indents. So you can use whatever you have on hand, even your nail. And then you want to make sure that piece is glued down. And you really want to make sure these ends are done. Now you can put this inside piece on first and then do your outside and fold it over. But when you fold it over, I find it's a little rougher with the clips and everything. So I'm just going to go ahead and do it that way. Make Make sure my ends are really glued down. And let's do the centerpiece. Make sure we have right to those ends. Like so. And again, I'm just lining it up to the top of the book page. I'm probably going to need a little bit more glue on this side. And we're just going to make sure this one doesn't have as big of a little indent there. It's just, this is your homemade spine. So put that together, make sure that's nice and glued. And we're going to let this dry before you try and close it, or else again, it will pull the fabric and make it pucker. So let's let that dry. So while it's drying, let's cut some paper to fit on the inside of your book. Okay, let me just grab my under this mess here, my brayer. Make sure we get those edges down nice and tight. Okay, so let this dry. So now we need some pieces of paper to go on each of these 4 panels. And again, you only want it the 1/8 of an inch that's showing more or less there. So you want it to be about 4 1/4. And I'm just going by the paper size by 6 5/8. So I've gone ahead and I've cut some different size papers, and I'm just using some of the scraps that I had from some of the other, from the little file folder project I was working on. And let's just get this in focus here. So I might use this one on this side, this one on this side, and then perhaps that one and that one. Like so. So that'll be the inside, and then I will go ahead and I'm actually going to glue some of these items closed. So let's go ahead with that while we're waiting for this to dry properly. So we're going to put a little glue on my envelope. Glue this little puppy closed, and then we're going to glue the bottom and glue that closed. So that will be my envelope on this side, like so. Oops. Clean that off. We'll glue this little guy closed. There we go. Like so, and then he will go here onto that one. Make sure I didn't glue it closed yet. No, I did not. Okay. And I've gone ahead and glued above where I needed it. There we go. Fixed. And that envelope will go there. And like I said, that little business card holder. Now I think I'm going to punch this with a bigger hole. If my punch will fit in there. Oh, just barely. There. So now I can get my card out a little easier. So that's going to go on that side. Everything in frame here. That's going to go on that side. Once I glue these in, and let's create the little trifold for this. So let's use, I wonder if I have one of these. I have some of this paper left over, so we'll go ahead. So we need it to be the width of the Post-it note pad, which is 2 inches. And we want it to be, I'm just going to use the measurement off of this one. It's 4.5, but we want a little bit to fold over for the front and flap, just to give it some sturdiness. So 4.5, 5, so about 5.5 to 5 3/4. So I need this 2 inches by, I'll say 6 inches, just to be on the safe side. So 6 by 2. Okay. So there's my 6 by 2 inch piece. This is an eraser that I bought at a store. It's called a gum eraser, but it's supposed to remove glue, and it works really well. I overglued this, and it actually takes the glue off of your envelope. So it takes all that shiny spot off. Really great eraser to have. So this is what we're going to do with this one. We're going to fold it down 1/2 inch on either side. So I'm going to grab my scoreboard and we'll quickly, sorry, again, my desktop is just covered with all different projects that I'm working on. Let's set this little guy aside for just a second. A lid on my glue. I'm just going to set him aside for a second. And let's get our scoreboard out. And I made this so long ago that we're going to try and replicate it. So I'm going to go ahead and do what I scored there. So that's about 1/2 inch at the top. And I'm just going to fold that in. And that will make my top and bottom flap a little sturdier. So we're going to go ahead and fold those in. Like so. Okay, and let's glue them so that they're glued down. So we're going to glue that little flap down, and we're going to glue this little flap down. Like so. So there. And that should be about this size. Well, it's a little bit bigger, but that's okay. So we need a 2 inch piece in the middle. So let's say, let's go at, we need 1, 2, 3, 4, 1/4 inch in the top. So I'm just going to put it in the middle of this. So I know that I need 2 inches, which is, let's say, there. I need my 2 inch for my pad here. The same, yep. So we fold that up. Like so. And then we need it to go over. We need it to come up. And we need to go over. Okay. So our next score line should be here. So that our pad fits inside there, like so. And then the next score line should be here. There. And we need one more more score line here. And let's fold that one. And there we go. There is our Post-it note cover. So really you just want a 6" by 2" piece. You want to fold your ends in 1/2 inch, and then you want to just set your pad in and kind of guesstimate as to where you want your flaps. It wasn't exact measurements, but let's see. Yeah, so that's 1 1/4 on the top. You want a 1, 2, 3, approximately 3/8, maybe a little more for the center. But the best way to do that is to set your Post-it note on there, make your first roughly fold it in to see where you have your flaps, and then do it that way. I will actually measure it all out and put the measurements below if you want to actually make one of these. So there you go. So that, now let's move this. This will now go up on the top of here. So I'm going to glue my Post-it note into this, and I will have my Velcro closure, but I want to put Velcro on the back of here so I can remove that. This one will be glued down, and then we're going to make one of these little pockets, and this is about 6" piece of paper. So let me just find my 6" piece of paper here. I think I'm going to make this one. So it was a 6 by 6. So let me cut that. There we go. So I have my 6 by 6. Let's start gluing some of these in so they don't keep falling off while we move them. So let's glue our papers in. Our material should be dry enough. And I'm going to use my brayer to make sure this gets put in nice and tight. So you want to do it from the center out, and then just give it a good rub with the brayer and right along the edges. So there's that one in. Now this one is going to be my things to do, and I haven't printed those out yet, so I'm just going to add my bowl clip. So that's my one piece side done. Let's glue this one in. Again, you want it to be in the middle, and the best way to do that is to close up your book and make sure you've given yourself lots of room. There you go, we're good. Just going to slide that down, and then the brayer. Okay, and then this will hold my little envelope here. And I'm not going to glue this in because I haven't decided on the closure I'm going to do yet. I may have to put those little circles on. But that will go there. Let's glue this one in. Still in frame here. Put that one in, and again you want to close up your sides. Let's move this out of the way. Make sure it's not infringing on that fold. Right, see? Then you want to make sure it's up far enough. You want to roll it out. Make sure it closes. Oh yeah, we have lots of room on this side. Okay. And we do have lots of room on that side. So this is now going to hold this envelope, and I'm going to go ahead and glue this one in. Now you can add decorative paper or stickers or whatever you like to dress up the envelopes, and I may do that because I do have some really lovely stickers that I've just received in the mail, so I might use those, but for now we're just going to go ahead and put this guy in here like so. And then let's get this last one in. And we'll glue him in. Let me just close my glue, it's oozing. Like so, make sure it closes, it's good. Let's roll it out. And there is our other side. So this one will have the little pocket here. So we'll go ahead and glue him in, we may as well. And we'll glue him in right there. Ooh, it's cold. And this will hold, like I say, a business card or my name plate or whichever, but that will hold my card. Let's glue this into our post-it note, into our little package. To the back of here. And then, oops, I'm using, we will get some of those little Velcro circles. Like that. And I will add one to the top to close it. So let's add one right there, and let's add the plastic hard piece to the bottom. And I'm going to stick them together the way they close, with the sticky part sticking out. And then when I close it and push down, it will actually put that bottom piece where I need it to be. Okay, so that's how that's going to go. And I believe I'm going to just go ahead and put two of these on the bottom. These are the hard pieces, the hard plastic pieces. Getting the sniffles. And then we need the soft tops, the fabric-y pieces. I think it's the hook. And we're going to put those on with the sticky side up, right on top. So the fabric side is going onto the hook and loop. Oops, go my thumb. Like that. So now we have two sticky pieces sticking up, and then when we lay it down and push, you can now take them off. Put them back on again. Okay, so that's that. That one's glued in, and again, this will have probably the eye Velcro on here, and I'm going to put one on either side here. So one there with the plastic and one here. Now you can use a little closure there, like a little piece of cardboard, and then just tuck it under. You can put a little belly band on there where it can tuck under. But I just will use these little Velcro closures. So there we go. That's closed. So that is basically this. And then I have to make some little circles for that. And I have a 1-inch punch here. Let's see if I can do this real quick. There's a 1-inch circle. And a 1-inch, oops, circle. That might be a little too big, but that's the idea anyway. I might get a smaller circle, and then I'll do the closures as well. So I'll save those for later. So that one's going to go in. That's my things to do. And let's make the pen holder. I know one is to go into the center. Where's the center mark? There's my center mark. You go into your center and put that down. with a little tiny gap there. And then you fold it again over like so. So you find your 3-inch mark, which is your center of your paper. Then you fold one into the center, and then on the right hand side you fold it into the center and then over again. And that's how you get your length. Okay, and then you're going to fold it at an angle down from your fold. Where's my fold? I'm going to put my fingernail there. Like so. So there's your one piece. And you want to do the same with the second piece so that when it closes in, you've got your little V. Now I'm going to cut away this second piece here, just because it's really thick. And so I'm just going to close that out there. So when this is folded down, and this one is folded down, and let's glue them down. Just give it a little tack on there to hold it. It's a really good fold. And then we'll do the same for this side. And you can probably glue this side down as well. So when it folds over. Like so. I don't think I put any glue on there. It didn't come out. There we go. Like so. That's how you're going to have your little end piece, and you're going to glue this little piece across the bottom to hold it closed. And the same with this one, we're just going to glue the whole thing closed. Like so, and then I just grab a little bowl clip, or a little clip, and I just put that on there to hold it. As well. So you want that to glue down, and then your pen will just slide inside here. So let's let that glue dry, and then I'm going to go ahead and glue that right into my booklet here, like so. So that will be the insides. Then you close it up. So, and then on this side I will have my yearly calendar. Grab some of the corners here. And I take 2 of the corners and I actually put them right on the calendar like so. Let's grab another one. Like that. This is where you decide where you want your calendar, and you push them down. And then the best thing to do is just slide your calendar down about 1/8 of an inch from those where it's pushed up into the corners. Pull it down a little bit so it gives you a little bit of room when you're taking it in and out to actually bend the card. And then you're just going to lift the end of your card and you're going to slide your other one on here. Make sure it's on nice and snug. Make sure you're lined up, and then you're going to push that one down. Am I in frame here? I hope I am. And then same with this side. You got to put your corner on. Make sure it's on there nice and snug. Doesn't seem to want to go in. There we go. And then put it down. So you've given yourself a little bit of room by pulling that calendar down, and now these can come out. And you can replace it with another yearly calendar. And this is just a 4x6 size calendar. That's what I've printed, is a 4x6, so that I can print another one 4x6. And I'm going to do the same thing with this side. I will have 3 monthly calendars, and I will go ahead and add the 4 corners and the 3 months. And then it closes up like so. And then for the front cover, I have some different little pieces of calendar left over. I might put something like this little guy on here. It's little tiny birds inside. They match the flower. I have all these little leftover cards from a calendar, and I can just pick which one I want to use. This guy's really cute as well. The little basket. These little chickadees are my favorite. I might even use that one. They might just fit in there when I trim it a bit. So I might go ahead and do that. Let's see what we do here.